Hello and welcome to What If Civilization Started Over, Episode 0, Multiplayer Edition. I am doing this with Annie.
Hello.
So, Episode 0 is basically the prologue, so how the world ended. And then Annie will take on episode 1, which is probably going to be on the same aim video as this. Also, I've just noticed there's the bar still on it, kinda, but oh well. So, let's start with... So, it's going to be a world war basically all the authoritarian nations and all the democratic nations decide to ally. So every democracy allies and every authoritarian ally, and the World War VII shall start between China and India as Chinese forces enter into India, quickly capturing New Delhi, and they also nuke some cities that aren't in India. Why not India? Because they want to nuke some of the other democratic nations, such as Australia and East Africa. So they nuke East Africa first, and then they nuke Australia in Port and Canberra. And those, the Chinese made new nukes, but a side effect of these new nukes. Oh wait, I used the one layer, so I'm gonna redo that. The side effect of these nukes is that they slowly expand. Why? It's because it's a completely new nuke that was made by China. It has never been tested before, but the democracies of Canada, Texas, and Egypt, and EU and Ireland, they gained the technology and they start bombing into authoritarian powers, aka the Axis. Also, I'm just checking here because I'm not really sure which ones are which. I probably should have checked, but this is just the law. So all of these are nuked, and the nukes, yeah. Uh-oh, what's happened here? Well, they've expanded more than any of the other nukes. And uh-oh, these guys have hit this nuke. And this nuke has been hit as well. And these nukes have been hit. Canada and Texas collapsed, even though they're not all nuked. They're just... And then more nukes land. And then pretty much the entire world is getting nuked. Australia's nuked. China's nuked. Russia's nuked. Europe is nuked. Greenland is nuked. And the last country left is Ireland. Meanwhile, they use a machine to reset to before World War VII, but the machine, which is just off the coast of Dublin, near Bray and Wicklow, nuked. But they do, however, manage to go to a different timeline, but, well, it's the same timeline, but it's way back then. We are back. Civilization has started over. They are on a completely new planet. Well, it's the same Earth, just different. new continents, more seas, new islands. America's heavily split apart. Like there's now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Americas. Atlantis is here, I know. And the new Irish government is not like under the modern Irish government. They declare that they are going to make Dublin City the capital because it's the only like city left. It's not as big as it was before the like end of the world. It used to be like pretty much over in Kildare, Louth and Meath, and now it isn't. And they're also gonna make it the capital, so I'm gonna give this as the capitals. And now I will hand it over to Annie to do episode 1, and then you'll probably see me again for episode 2. Goodbye.
Hello everyone, in this video, why am I starting like that? In this video, we are going to be looking at a WICSOMP multiplayer that I am making with Novo. Play. I don't remember your YouTube handle, my bad. Anyway, say hello, Novo. Oh wait, I completely forgot to have Discord audio, hold on. Okay, now say hello, because I just remembered to connect Discord audio.
Hello, and it's just Novo.
Okay. Anyways, back to being muted. Well, you. Anyways, in the episode 0 and 1 are connected, right? Okay. So, in the earlier, literally a minute ago, you saw World War 7. Yeah, the map didn't look like this. It is very different now, as you can see. Florida Island. Anyways, yeah, let's just get on with this. If you like this, then like and subscribe, and yeah, like and subscribe to my channel, Novo's channel, and the Silly Mathers channel, which I think this is going on. I'm not sure though. I'm still a bit confused. Anyways, let's just get on with this. So first of all, we are going to start to see the Irish just start to be like, okay, we know what the hell. Why is this here? Because remember, Ireland and the UK was not really ever connected in history. This is roughly what it looked like. It looks something like this, I think. So they're already in new territory and they're confused as hell. So they're gonna start to go along and just try and get their bearings straight. After I'd say maybe 10 years, because they do know what Ireland looks like, they look something like this. As I just said, this is just normal Ireland. This is new stuff. So they start traversing it a bit carefully. I believe this is Wales though, so they're fine with Wales. And after a while, what they know about will look something like this. And now we're finally going to start to see them expand. I'm on the wrong way. There we go. They are going to start to expand looking like this, hoping, hey, is anyone else alive? Because they currently only know about this. The nearest nation to them is probably the European Union. But they don't know if anyone else is alive. So they start to explore out. And after, I'd say, maybe another 10 years, it will look something like this. And the Irish are, I'm once again on the wrong layer, they're going to start to explore, reaching what is now the Lake of Man instead of the Isle of Man. And they're going to start to go along this coast. And, yeah. But after, I'd say, maybe 5 more years, and once they look like this, we see a new country get formed. And that is going to be the Red English Nation, as we don't currently have a Red Nation. So yeah, the Red English Nation gets formed, and this currently looks like the Italian flag. we see a bit of a sort of rivalry because the Irish are like, hey, we just want to figure out if anyone else is alive. Like the French Union, the Nordic Union, Russia, China, even Arabia, India. Like they don't know if anyone else is alive, so they just want to know if anyone's alive. But the English are taking a bit of a more pessimistic route, being like, everyone is probably dead. Like look at what the map looks like. We know that there's a connection between Ireland and Britain. There's more of Britain, which means it's probably been a while since they've last been conscious. So they're taking a bit more of a pessimistic route. And just thinking, there's probably no one alive. But the Irish are still kind of hopeful. And after a while, it is going... the British Isles are going to look something like this, with a majority of Ireland being claimed by the Irish, looking like this. But going a bit more north, we're going to be seeing a new nation get formed, and that nation is going to be a sort of Scottish nation right up here. And it's going to look like this. Well, it's a bit like a Northern Irish nation, but who cares? And not just that, but we're also going to be seeing more exploration. Also, if you hear cars outside, I'm not shutting my window, it's too hot. So, yeah, sorry about that. But yeah, after a while... maybe I should shut my window. But after a while, all of the British Isles, or what is currently the British Isles, are going to be discovered. And it's going to be divided, looking at something like this, with Scotland gaining this, as well as this and this, as well as this little island up here. The Irish are going to be gaining just everything up here, looking like this, and the rest is going to the English. So where's this weird pixel that hasn't been coloured in yet? And not just that, but a few towns and cities are going to be formed. I believe this is 2 pixels, so yeah, 2 pixels. So I'm just going to dot some towns around the map, because we are going to be having some town... I right-clicked somehow. So yeah, we're just going to be seeing some towns dotted around the map, looking like this. There's probably going to be far less in Scotland. And England's probably going to have a couple. So yeah, the map is really not that populated. I would say there is probably, at most, 1 million people. I know that seems like not a lot, but considering we're like probably 1 million years in the future, I just realized this island is shaped like 2. That's my bad. But yeah, considering we're like 1 million years in the future, there's probably not a lot of people. So yeah. Anyways, I need to figure out how big this is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, 8 pixels large. Good to know. So yeah, not as populated as real life. Nowhere near. I would say just before World War VII, the population of over here was probably, I'd say, 120 million. I know that sounds like a lot, but it's probably 300 years in the future, to be honest. So yeah, but going away from that, we are going to be going on to a bit more of like naval aspects, as certain areas are going to be explored into. The Irish are going to be going around the Scottish and be like, hey, we just found some land, it might be Denmark. But then they go further east and they find Denmark. They're like, maybe we just went around Denmark and we're on the other side? So they go back, but then they find what they think is Denmark, and now they're like, okay, what the hell is going on? Because they're very confused. And they begin to just explore more, thinking, hey, this is France, hey, this is Belgium. But after a while, they realize this really isn't France. As they realize the Netherlands is gone. And then they finally realize no one else is here. And that's going to cause a bit of panic in the Irish nation, with multiple factions starting to slowly break out. The first one, down here, looking something like this, being like a Cornwall nation that wants independence. And then the next one being an Irish one over here, well, another Irish one over here, being sort of like a Northern Irish one, looking like this. Both factions wanting their independence, and the Irish government in just complete turmoil. Sorry, I can't English today. They're going to allow them to have their independence, and it will look just like this, like nothing will change. Except for the fact that these two are going to need cities, with the Northern Irish one putting it in their only city, looking something like this, and Cornwall also putting it in their only city. And going away from the British Isles, we're going to be seeing some more exploration. And it is going to be looking something like this. That's right, they know about the French. Yeah, France, yay. But not just that. Going down, like, you know what? Maybe not much was changed. But then they go down here and they're like, this is a bit strange. Oh my god, yep, it's definitely new land. So yeah. Their worst suspicions were true, and they are definitely in the future where probably no other nation is alive. And that's gonna cause a lot more turmoil in the Irish Union. Well, not Irish Union, but like in the Irish nation. And it's going to cause a second faction to break out. Not one of independence, but one just purely out of spite. And wanting to not have any more hopes on, hey, we might not be the only ones. They just want to accept the fact and just run as their own nation. And this faction is going to be breaking out in the Isle of Man Lake. The Lake of Man. And it is very quickly going to take over all English areas of the Irish nation. And then very quickly overruns the nation. And now, this nation isn't the same Irish nation. It's a different one. But going away from that and never touching upon that again, I'm joking, we're going to be seeing a new nation get formed, and that is going to be the French Union. Well, not French Union, but like the French. They're going to be formed right up here, looking something like this. So yeah, we now have France, yeah. But they're not the only nation that's going to be formed, but obviously not. There's going to be another nation that's going to be formed, and that's going to be like a pinkish coloured nation right here. But that's once again not the only nation that's going to be formed, as we're going to be seeing a purple nation get formed in these islands right here, as well as a tiny bit of the mainland of Europe looking something like this. Yeah. We have land now. I don't know what I'm doing, I'm sorry. But we are going to, first of all, be giving these guys some towns. You know, maybe I should add towns in WICSOMP rapid fire. That would actually be a very good idea. But yeah, we start to see some towns get made, looking something like this. Mainly in like the areas that really haven't been affected, but there is one or two on these islands. With this island having multiple, having 5, looking like this. And regarding cities, that is if I can find a city. Here we go. It is going to have 4 pixels. We are going to be seeing this purple nation construct a few cities looking like this. The French are going to be constructing 1, and this nation is going to be constructing 1. And obviously, these are instantly going to just become their capitals. Looking something like I'll have it here. So looking something like this. So yeah, the map is starting to get filled out quite rapidly. But that isn't the only thing that we're going to be seeing. As some people from the Irish nation, who are still hopeful, are going to set sail and go on a voyage, well not a voyage, but they're going to start expanding. Well, if you guys can tell, I get those 2 words. I get expanded and exploring very confused. So they're going to start exploring. But after a few months, after they've gone, I'd say, around all of this, basically around all of Doggerland, and they haven't found anything, they decide to go back. Although I am just gonna make this look a little cleaner. There we go. they're going to why am I saying set sail? They are going to go back and find another path. And this path is going to be along the French areas. And imagine there's a river here. They start to go along this river and eventually find the coast of France. And they're like, oh my god, maybe this area isn't actually completely ruined. So they go around, they realize it's French, and they cry their eyes out because they finally find an area that isn't completely changed. And then they set sail. They find an island which they think is Corsica. It's not Corsica. Yeah. They cry their eyes out because they find an area that is changed. They go over here. It's changed. They go over here. It's completely changed. No area for a long time has not been changed. Well, there's no area close by that hasn't been changed. Like, the Nordics haven't been changed. And that's like the only close area. Because even, like, the Black Sea has sort of been changed, like, right here. But going away from that, we are going to be seeing the full exploration of these islands, looking something like this. Yeah. As well as the landing and full exploration of Sicily. As well as the landing in Rome, or like, oh, not Rome, Italy, looking at something like this. And I am going to just fully colour in Italy, because, yeah. So yeah, this whole area has been explored, and let's say a lot of people follow their path, so yeah. Why? Because I'm lazy and I want this area to be filled out. So yeah, and we're going to start to see areas start to get filled out. The first area is going to be an orange nation right here, looking like this. With these islands going onto the orange nation. The next nation is a pink nation, forming in... I forgot what this island's. Corsica, like the Corsican Corsidinia. Let's call it that, Corsidinia. Remember that, Novo. There will be a quiz later. Anyways, yeah, a pink nation gets formed. And, yeah. But that's not all. There's going to be a bit of land over here. So, yeah. Episode 1, and we already have a lot of areas formed. A lot of areas explored. But that's not it. And there's a lot, but I really could not care less. It's our series. But still, we are going to be seeing, once again, more exploration and expansion and creation. And it's going to be right here, looking at something like this, with all of Sicily being occupied, well, not occupied, but like claimed, as well as all of this, like all of Naples. So yeah, we have a whole new world, and it's starting to be explored. But I think this is where I'm going to end the video, and hold on, I forgot what I was saying, so yeah. But this is the end of the episode, because why? I'm lazy. Wait, hold on, I forgot to do towns. So let's do that now. That is, if I can, let's see if I can click on one of these towns without actually going, you know, yeah, I can't do that. So, towns. Town, a town, another one. A couple towns on this island, called Sardinia, and a few in Naples. And we're just going to have one town up here, because why not? I will be annoyed if anyone ever removes it. But yeah. Obviously these areas are going to become cities, and obviously their capitals. Looking something like this. So, bat, boom, bang. So yeah, that is the end of this video. If you guys liked it, then please subscribe to our channels and our channel, because this is being posted, I believe, on the Silly Matters channel. So yeah, I'm gonna go now, and Novo, do you have any words you want to say?
Nope, but see y'all in episode 2.
You lied. Those were words. You did have words you wanted to say. Anyways, goodbye.